Hello everyone, it's Tilly from Tilly Journals, and I am here to memory plan the month of March in my Erin Condren Vertical Neutral Life Planner. I'm using this March monthly kit from Plannerface. What a shocker, it's like I use their monthly kits every month. I do get a discount for promoting for Anna, so you can use Tilly10 to save, but just know, disclaimer, I get a discount for, promoting for her. I have all of these washies. These ones are all from Simply Gilded. These two are from Colourful & Co, which you can also use Tilly10. I don't PR for her, but she's a friend, so take that how you want. And this one is from the Harry Potter collection. Don't really remember why. Stickers pulled out, foil from my shop. Don't know what I'll use, but I just like to have it out. So yeah, let's get straight on with it and get things down. I'm going to pop the headers and the sidebar and the day cover-ups that aren't in the month down first. Whilst I'm doing this, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about how you are doing with everything going on at the moment. March was a strange one. So the first half of it was pretty normal here in the UK, and then things, we went into lockdown partway through the month. Though our Prime Minister did say this is not a lockdown, but it is essentially. You're allowed to leave your house for essential work. All non-essential businesses have had to shut, so you can leave your house for essential work that can't be done outside of the house, and you can leave your house for what else can you leave your house for grocery shopping and one form of exercise a day, which I know isn't as strict as other places. I obviously have an essential job. I am a doctor, so yeah, that's what's going on here. Let me know down below what's going on in your country, where you are, and how you are coping with it all. So there you go. As you can see, I've left this box blank. So because I changed to a Monday start, this is actually the 2nd, so this will be the 1st. So just to, explain that little bit of confusion. Cool. So the only thing I've got to mark on this day was that I went to visit my granny in hospital. She was actually doing a lot. Oh wait, before I move on to the day by day, I need to mark the things that happened. So my uncle came for these 2 days. Well, he came overnight that night. My sister came to stay for these 3 days, and we went to my brother's wedding for these 3 days. Yeah, just trying to get that right. So I put the right things on the right days, so I'm just going to mark those in with washi. While I do this, I thought I'd talk to you about what I'm thinking for my dashboard pages. So my dashboard pages, I'm wondering whether to use them for like photos. So there's nowhere in my memory planner I mark what videos go up on this YouTube channel, and it's a big part of my life, so I feel like I should mark that somewhere at least. So I'm thinking of marking that on one page, like taking a compilation of my favourite photos for the month, particularly now with my nephew, because he is absolutely adorable, and I want to celebrate him and like watch him grow. So I'm thinking of popping photos of him in as well, and things like that. So that and then any other events that happen. So for like March, I put some photos of my brother's wedding in, stuff like that, like anything from big events that I've got photos of as well. And then having like part of it a quote that spoke to me that month, the photos, and then either nothing or some freeform journaling. So to mark these 3 events, I am using 3 icons. The 2 girls are from Fox and Cactus. The 2 rats with the heart are from Crafty Rat Designs, and the popcorn people are from Coffee Monsters Co. So there we have the basis and all that done. So let's move on to the day by day. So what I was saying before is I went to visit my granny on this day. She was back in hospital, and I was on call at work, so well, she still is back in hospital. I don't know why I said she was back in hospital. She still is back in hospital. But she was actually looking really well that day. That took a turn, but that day she was looking really well. This whole week I was off work, and on the Monday me and Beth had a chat about plan and did some, you know, casual planning for that. So we had a phone call. On the Wednesday I did a lot of progress on oops bags and things, putting them together, trying to make them work, make me happy with them. So I'm going to pop my icons at the top for this week because there's not much washi in this week, and it just allows me to be able to pop 4 boxes in between days if there is space. On the Thursday I got my second choice job. It's actually since being upgraded to my first choice job, which is amazing. But yeah, I found out on this day I'd got my second choice job, so I was absolutely over the moon. In fact, got upgraded on this day, which we will get to, but yeah, so that's there to mark that. On Friday was the day my granny took a turn for the worse and she started getting quite unwell, and I'm also going to mark that me and my mum went shopping for dresses for my brother's wedding. So we got my mum a dress for the wedding and stuff. I already had my dress. I bought some dresses when we were in America last year, and I wore one of those, so I had my dress already. I bought like some nice dresses for things like weddings and stuff, with the intention of wearing it for my brother's wedding. So that's there. On the 7th, my grandpa moved back in to live with us. He had been at home for a while my parents had been away the week before all of this, and whilst my granny was in hospital, so my auntie was down with her, but would struggle a little bit on his own, so he moved back in with us to deal. And on the 8th, me and my mum binge watched some Suits, so just got a binge watch sticker, and I might pop that up on some washi just to give it a bit of background, just to have some like torn washi underneath it. Love it. Okay, so that is the first week all done. On the 8th, me and my boyfriend started trying to go for runs. That is the only run we made. I felt like I was full on dying, and I've got a very accurate representation of that in a fox and cactus sticker. It was pretty funny. And there's my reaction to going for a run. Because my sister and my nephew were here for these few days, on the 9th I had some lovely Felix cuddles. So nice just to, you know, have a chill with them. She was down to see my granny because obviously my granny was like really poorly at this point. We thought she might die, so yeah. And on the 10th I went to visit my granny again. Obviously was trying to see her as much as possible because I didn't want to not be able to. Sorry, I should have given this a little bit of a trigger warning for talking about death. She is much better at the moment. We're talking about discharging her, but I mean it's the 3rd time they've talked about discharging her since this. So the first time they talked about discharging her was before this point, and since then they've talked twice more about discharging her, but it's just not come off any of those times. But oh well. On the Thursday I had a training day, training in the evening. There's a girl guiding safeguarding training that everybody's meant to do, so I had mine on the day. I'd done like the parts you can do beforehand, and then that was the final part that you have to do in person. On the 12th, my phone company were being awful on the phone, and they were just really rude to me and really upset me, and yeah, I was not best impressed. However, I ended up staying with them because they have the best deals, so just got an accurate "you're being salty with me, how dare you." Just realised why this looks so weird. There we go. That just, I don't know why it looks so much better, but it just does to me, because the cover of my planner was on the wrong side. On the 14th we went on a Harry Potter walking tour of York, and then we went out to have some food. The Harry Potter walking tour was awesome. Like, there's not a great deal of Harry Potter stuff in York, but they did like some of the history of York as well. It was just really interesting to see like how other people see York as well, because I've lived here my entire life, so it was quite nice to like go and see some other bits and have like some of the history of York explained. Like there's a couple, obviously one of the streets in York is actually what Diagon Alley is based on. Well, not obviously, if you didn't know that. And it is like an old English town, so I mean there is some Harry Potter stuff, but yeah. So that is that week. But yeah, it was just such a good tour. On this week, this day was the first day I started to feel a bit overwhelmed and panicked about COVID. Obviously, being a scientist, I use the word COVID rather than coronavirus or whatever, because there are lots of coronaviruses. There is only one COVID-19. But yeah, that's just me being a scientist. So that's when I started to get really worried, and also that was the day that Girl Guiding decided that enough was enough, and with the new government guidelines on social distancing, we should be not having Girl Guiding meetings, because it was like unnecessary social interaction. So I'm just going to mark that in as well. On the 16th, I got sent a document that basically said that they were thinking about not letting junior doctors rotate in April. So we were meant to rotate on the 1st of April, and it was just a bit like, so are we rotating? What is happening? Why is nobody telling us anything? Because my hospital didn't speak to us for ages. So it was just a bit like, huh, what's happening? On the 17th, my job was upgraded, which obviously I'm over the moon about. And then on the 18th, my brother got married to his fiancée. So obviously both very big deals and amazing things that happened. So just going to mark both of those in. I kind of want to use two like of these half box size things, but that seems a little bit excessive, so I'm just going to use for my job upgrade that. But it does mean I now have my first choice job, which is insane to me. I kind of wish this heart was the other way wonky. I'm going to have to put it on that side. I don't love that they're like next to each other, but they're going to have to be, so it's fine. Then on the 20th, I just want to mark my nephew has been like not gaining weight properly, and I just want to mark that on this day he was weighed and he had gained weight, and that is amazing. Such good news. I think I'm going to put it up at the top just because that's what I want to do. I don't think there'd be space for a full box in between those two. The 20th, I need to turn my planner over. Me and my mum and dad and boyfriend started our Harry Potter binge watching. So we watched all of the Harry Potter movies. It did take us like a week and a few days, because we watched like half movies Sundays, because obviously me and my boyfriend are still at work, so we can't like watch a full 2.5 hour movie every night. I've just realised all of this week is wrong. My brother got married on this day because I went by the dates rather than actually when things happened, if you see what I mean. I read the dates on the planner, so I'm just going to go through and move all of that. That is the one problem I find with redating this monthly spread, is that it is quite easy to make a mistake like that, because you need to pay attention to the day of the week, not the date. So it's like getting that balance right between when you put in the days of the week, because if you put in the date flags really early, you're then going to cover them up with other stuff, and it's going to create awkwardness for yourself, because it's quite difficult to fit in stuff when you've already got your date flags in. On the 22nd, I went to visit a care home with my mum for potentially my granny to go into. Obviously things have now changed and she's not quite coming out of hospital yet, and she's not actually going to that care home anymore because they messed us up. But we thought about it. And then the 23rd is the day the UK new guidance that I just outlined before came in. So this is when the UK sort of went into lockdown. Then the 24th, I was just feeling really overwhelmed with life the universe and everything, like I know a lot of people are at the moment. It's a hard time, and nobody should be pretending they're not struggling if they're struggling. I sometimes feel a bit like I don't deserve to be struggling because my life hasn't changed that much, but some days it is overwhelming and it's struggling, and I'm sad about all the people that are gonna die. And yeah, I'm sorry that this has been a bit of a downer video. I normally like avoid talking about coronavirus, but it was such a big part of March for me that it's quite difficult to, you know, not mention it at all. So yeah, that's that. On this day, me and my boyfriend did a at-home date night, just to try and, you know, have a bit of relaxing, chilled out time. So we just watched some TV, we played some video games, and just, you know, spent time just us. And also at work we started playing a Monopoly card game when we don't have much to do, because psychiatry is actually not very busy at the moment, although like the rest of the world is. Psychiatry is not somehow. And then on the 27th, I just want to mark in that I was feeling frustrated. Just at everything, I just was getting overwhelmed and nothing was going right. No, this is meant to be the Sunday. I'd worked on the Saturday and it was just overwhelming that I couldn't get everything I wanted to done, and I'd had a quietish week at work and I still like couldn't fit in everything I wanted to. So yeah, I was getting a bit like annoyed. And then last but not least, on the 30th, we finished our Harry Potter binge. On the 31st, sorry. So that is basically everything, other than I've got Mother's Day and St Patrick's Day stickers to still put in, but I don't want to pop those in until I've got my washi and stuff down. So that is like all the events and stuff sorted. So next we pull in the 4 boxes from the kit. So there are 6 like decorative 4 boxes. I very rarely can fit all of them in, so I tend to start off with my favourite ones. So I'll take like my favourite 3 and get them in, and then fit the others in if they will. And to be fair, I'll probably fit more than 3 in because there are actually quite a few empty boxes. And I try not to put them squarely in boxes, like sometimes I have to, and sometimes I should put washi down before the 4 boxes. Maybe we put in some washi first actually. So again, I'm just going to pull in the washis. I feel like I might not use all of them, but actually maybe I will. I'm going to put down like 3 strips of each washi. I always start by putting down 3 strips of each washi because I think it gives you like a nice balance of the colours if you put down like a certain number of each washi, and I think 3 just works quite well. It might be a bit many with the amount of washi tapes I have this time. Sometimes I only have like 1 or 2, so 3. Well no, I have like 5 normally, not 1 or 2. So 3 sometimes is not very many, sometimes it's quite a lot. But this time it seems like about probably 3 might be too many, but it might be okay too. But we will wait and see what it looks like, because I only have 2 30mm washis. It might, you know, seem like a bit less than it otherwise would. Kind of want to pull that in. Sometimes I like peel up stickers and stuff to make the washi fit a bit better where I want it, because it doesn't matter if the washi is hidden a bit by a sticker. I just want, you know, there to be a bit of a balance between stickers and washi and stuff. And sometimes I use really long strips and sometimes I use short strips, but I do try and get them straight. Some of these have not been very straight as I've been putting them down. And obviously the one I just put down, it wasn't very straight, but this you might not be watching. This will be sped up, so you might not be seeing what I'm seeing at the moment. So yeah, I just waffle sometimes, and sometimes I'm like, Tilly, just shut up, nobody wants to listen to this waffle. Let me know down below what you're thinking of this new sort of theory of putting in bits of talking whilst I do other bits and pieces during the spreads, because I quite like it, because I feel like it's not as much just you guys listening to music, but at the same time I can also see that it could be quite annoying. So let me know down below what you think of it. Do you prefer it to how I used to do things or not? Yeah. So now we've got a basis of washi down, we're going to pop in the full boxes, and it is going to cover up some of the washi I've just put down, but as you can see there's going to be bits like poking it out of places in it, and that's what I want. I want it to have like surrounding washi, so it doesn't look like the boxes are just like filler as much as they are, just filling. I want them to, you know, have a purpose as well, and like seem part of the spread, not just like I've just dumped things down. So I can definitely fit one more in. I think this one's my favourite of the ones that are left. Might even be able to fit 2 more in, but I don't know yet. Yeah, so I think just that one's going to be left, and I am just going to leave it. Last thing I like to do is pop in the last 2 strips of washi that are from the kit, as well as the little glitter strips as well, and then I'm just gonna fill up any more gaps that have now found with any bits of washi as well, but I start off with these strips of glitter and stuff from the kit. Cool, so that's where we're at so far. I don't actually think I want to pull any more foil in. I like that it's just a bit lighter on the foil this month. What I do need to do is I need to put in my date flags, and I need to write everything in, so let's get on with it. I do have to like move my planner around for the date flags because I'm not very good at getting them straight unless I move at my planner. And I tend to try and do one side and then the other side of the planner just to make my life easier really. I have used tweezers for this before. I've not used tweezers. I prefer not using tweezers. I find it easier to get straight. I know other people don't, but that's what I find easiest. And you've got to do what works best for you. Do you use tweezers in your planning, and do you find them helpful? Like, I know a lot of people do use tweezers, but part of me wonders how many of those people actually, you know, find it helpful that they use them. Because I speak to a lot of people and they swear by tweezers, and I speak to a lot of others and they're like, no, I tried tweezers, doesn't work, hate it, can't do it. And why do people use tweezers? It makes life harder, not easier. I suppose it possibly depends how like dexterous you are. And I'm really sorry if you can hear in the background the hoover and drilling and stuff. My boyfriend and my dad are installing a bathroom cabinet that basically, it's been in a box in our bathroom for ages. So I basically this morning when we tidied up, because we do a tidy every Sunday morning of the bedroom and stuff, I was like, why is this just sitting here? Why don't we just put it up? So I left my boyfriend with the task of putting it together, but then because the wardrobe, the walls in the bathroom are tiled, they then are now like working out with my dad. He's working out with my dad how to get it on the wall. I live with my parents, by the way, if you didn't know. It's not that we've invited my dad round to help. He is living here. So there we have the finished shredder. There obviously is foil, but it's not like overwhelming foil, and I want to leave it like that. So left in the kit we have 2 more day cover-ups. I've got the holidays because I don't use those. I've got the functional sidebar, all of the icons and headers, bill dues, payday and day off flags, 1 box there and 1 day cover up there, the Sunday start strips and 1 washi strip, and that's it. That's not part of the kit. And then I used the Monday start strips. So that will go in my de-stash leftover pile, and that's all I have for you today. All the shops will be linked down below, but if you have any questions about specific stickers, where they came from, let me know and I will answer them in the comments and answer any questions that I've asked, because I know I've asked a few in and out of the video down below, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!